Hey, everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in today to Faithfully Her. I am Liana Michelle, and today I have a special guest on with me. Her name is Kiana Jefferson. She is a Detroit native. She's a graduate of Henry Ford High School. She has her associate's degree in arts, and she's also studied social work. So she knows how to talk and deal and identify with people. I met Kiana a little bit ago at an event that she was participating in, and I loved her products that she had out for sale. And we struck up a great conversation, and I really wanted to have her on the show. And she was so gracious enough to come on and bless us today. So I want everybody to put their hands together. There once was a whiskey for my special guest, Kiana Jefferson.
Thank you. Thank you so very much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to share with you on this platform. I appreciate you coming up to my table at that moment, and we were just exchanging, and come to find out we're like, I think from the same neighborhood a little bit, know a few people
Yeah.
that are the same. So it was supposed to happen.
Right,
It was
right. And
supposed to happen.
it's funny because I'm not always open
Hmm.
or like come out and just be like, "Hey girl," like,
Hmm.
I'm kind of shy sometimes, a
Hmm.
little reserved.
Reserved.
But with you, it felt like I've been knowing you forever. Like, "Hey girl, what's going
I
on? What you eat last
know.
night?"
I
Like it
enjoyed our
just felt like
conversation. It was like we were talking so much, I kind of forgot I had a table and was like, oh, wait a minute.
right. Well, again, I really thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and just blessing me and the audience that I do have with your time today. So I kind of just want to jump right into who you are. So if you want to give yourself a brief introduction and just give us a little bit
Mhm.
about Kay Jefferson.
Okay. Well, let's see here. I'm from Detroit, like I said, Detroit native, born and raised, was birthed at the original Sinai on Outer Drive. So 313 for life.
Okay.
I am the oldest of four. Um, Grew up on the west side of Detroit from Ecorse, Michigan as well. Um, I have four children. Like I said, graduated from Henry Ford in '93. Trojans, say. And got married at a young age, divorced at a young age. Didn't attend college until I was in my 30s. I want to say maybe early 30s. Um, from that point, went from community college, Wayne County Community College, where I graduated with an associate's arts degree. Transferred to Eastern Michigan, and then that's when the a lot of reality of being a mother kicked in, because I was able to work part-time and attend college, but then things happen, kids get older, need more income, and so I ended up having to work and let school go for a while. So that's why I never completed that at this time, but it's coming.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm just a really laid back individual. I like talking to people, when I'm comfortable, I'm like you. And just ready to show my children something different, that no matter what age they are, if they want to do something, that they can do it if they put their mind to it. So,
I can identify with that because I had my son when I was 21,
okay.
and at that time I had an associate's, but
Hmm.
that was all I had, so I didn't go back to school until later. And
Hmm.
I kind of went through different phases of what I wanted to do, thinking of how can I just make some quick money to stabilize us and so forth. So, kind of dibbling in real estate, dibbling in that. And
Okay.
then it was like, nope, you need to just focus and get an education on one set career.
Hmm.
So I can identify with being a single mom, and trying to go to school, trying to work, trying to better yourself for your family.
Yes.
And when I can remember when I went back for my master's, I did that for him. So he
Hmm.
can see, like, you know what, it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter what your past is. you can still make it. And I wanted to show him that in a woman. Like, I
Mhm,
want you to see me as a strong Black woman that can make it and that
mhm.
can produce something positive
Yes.
in life. So you will have a better idea of a woman you want for yourself in life. So I
Oh,
can
great.
definitely identify with that.
Yeah, I noticed my mom had me young. She had me actually at 15 years old.
Okay.
And unfortunately, she passed away at 46, the age I'm getting ready to be.
So
So
sorry to
it's
hear that.
hard watching her grow up. She grew up with me. You
Right.
know, she grew up with me. I seen her mistakes. I'm pretty sure mistakes that she didn't want me to see. You know, things happen. Um, but we overcame. You know, I watched her overcome. She did get sick, and she, like I said, she lost her life early to sarcoidosis. And it's a
Mhm.
lot of things that I noticed that she didn't get a chance to do.
Right.
With us growing up in our background, she held on so tight to us that she didn't get a chance to do her dreams. And
Okay.
so once she passed away, like I said, it was really difficult, but that's the decision I had to make, that I had to be further than she was. So
Right.
me starting my own business, going to school, getting degrees, I wanted to show my children, I wanted to give them a minimum of a standard. So if I graduated from college, if I started a business, you have to go further than me. So that's what I'm working on.
Amen to that. Hold on. Let me go back to my clap track. No, that, you know what, because you do think of those things, especially with you being young, losing your mom at such a young age.
Hmm.
So and I know this is probably getting off course, but this is what I said about just having a conversation with people.
No problem.
um so how did you overcome that, being so young,
Ooh.
three younger siblings under you now,
Hmm. Hmm.
you being the oldest?
Hmm.
What was that like for you?
Um, Hard, but you couldn't show how hard it was to those younger siblings because mama's gone. So I'm Big Mama next, and it's funny because
Right.
that's one of the nicknames, Big Mama. Big Mama's next. Um, my youngest sister was literally turning 16 2 days after my mother had passed away.
Oh, wow.
And love my dad. We got so much love from my father, but he never lived in a household, and he lived out of state. And so when she had passed away, before she had passed away, we were having conversations, and she would be like, "Well, I think your dad might be coming to get your sister." It's like she knew that her time was ending, and me being the daughter and not wanting that, I would kind of dismiss what she was saying. I heard her, I took it in,
Hmm.
but I didn't want her to give up. And
Hmm.
me admitting or saying, well, yeah, it's to me was like, I'm not going to let you give up. I'm not going to let
Hmm.
you give up. And so I knew that that was going to be one of the things, but I also wanted to listen to my sister, who's at the time, like I said, I was grown and had kids at the time. I was married and divorced at that time.
Okay.
Um, like I said, my sister was in her 10th grade year, getting ready to, go into summer of going into her 11th grade year. And so she didn't want to go. She's lived her whole life here,
Right.
you know, great student, great student. My brother, he was married, he still is married, had his family. So I was really concerned about her. And so, sure enough, my dad came and to me, swooped her and took her away. And
Hmm.
it was heartbreaking. Like I literally stopped talking to him because I'm like, he didn't realize that you were taking away my lifeline too. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? I was
Yeah.
used to being that mother figure to my sister because my mom condition deteriorated. So it was a lot of things that I had to step up and do. So when he took her, he kind of took another piece of me that I already lost with my mom.
Right.
So over the summer she came back to visit, and when it was time for her to go back, and she was like, I don't want to go back. And I was like, I can take you to the airport, but I can't force you out the car. And I took her to the airport and she ain't get out the car.
Okay.
Woo! So it was a nice little fallout from that. I had to go to court. I got custody. I rolled
Okay.
her back in school, and she ended up doing her 11th grade year in out of state, which she was so smart that she could have graduated. That could have been her senior year. She was like, oh no, because in her mind, I'm coming back home. So when she got
Right.
back home, she did her senior year. She graduated. She graduated, she even homecoming, not homecoming, excuse me, prom queen.
Okay.
Went to college, went to Wayne State. So I did that.
Yes. Good. But
She did that.
that determination and that persistence
Hmm.
that the two of you had,
Hmm.
and by the grace of God, he saw that need in the two of you
Yeah,
and made
definitely.
sure that it came back together, even though
Hmm.
you had to spend that year apart.
Yeah.
At the end of it, God made sure he brought that lifeline back
Hmm.
together for the two of you. So that's beautiful. And I'm happy to hear how you fought for her,
Yeah.
going to
Couldn't
court
nobody
and
stop me from
fighting for
fighting for
her.
her. Like I had to fight my dad, and that's like, I'm a daddy's girl. Like I said, he's never lived in the house, but he's been present, you know, maybe not as much as I had wanted him to be, but I can't take away. He was the dad he knew how to be.
Right.
And and during that situation, makes me appreciate him now and appreciate people now, because you have to meet people where they're at. You know what I'm saying? You wish they could be a better parent or wish they could be a better person, but you kind of have to accept them from where they're at. Always give out positivity and hopefully they catch up on it and grab it. But I'm not going to stop being who I am to cater to you. I'm still
Right.
going to love you, but I can love you from a distance with no problem. I prefer you
Right.
close to me. But it worked out. It worked out.
And I think sometimes when we become parents, we see our parents differently. And
Yes.
we can see, we could say just that, like, what, my parent, everybody makes mistakes, nobody
Hmm.
is perfect, he or she did the best that they could, because I'm
Yes,
just doing the best that I can. And
exactly.
as our kids grow and get
Hmm.
older and begin to have children, they'll start seeing those same things. So the
Hmm.
things they may have been mad with us about,
Hmm.
they'll cut, because I can remember just going back to my mom saying, like, girl, I gave you such a hard time for this, but this little boy is driving me crazy, so I'm sorry. Like, what I'm
I
saying? Like,
wish,
let
I
me go
wish,
back and
oh my
apologize.
goodness, you just don't know how much sometimes things happen, or one of my kids will do something, or life itself will happen, and I'll be like, oh my goodness, I wish you were here. Or I can remember certain things that happened to her and how she handled it. So she gave me a blueprint. Like I said,
Hmm.
I grew up with her. She was only 15 years older than me. So when she had a baby at 30, I was 15. My sister was just born. So it was like I was able to do it all. If it
Right.
wasn't for her, I wouldn't be who I am. So
And she made you a strong person. And,
she
and like you
did.
said, she gave you that blueprint on how to be a strong, independent woman.
Hmm.
And regardless to what your journey is, it's showing through, now with everything that you're doing. So
Yes, thank you.
kudos.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now we done got way off our subject, but
No, we were saying what we needed to say,
what we
because you
needed to
never know
say.
who was listening and needed that. Because I needed this. You're giving me this
Oh,
platform. I needed this. So thank you.
oh, yay. Good. Girl, we gonna have to go do lunch.
Yes, and I like to eat.
Okay, so as far as the things, your creativity and you
Okay.
creating your own business,
Mhm.
were you always into like creating arts, crafts, designs?
I feel like I was the most least creative person ever in life. Like I
Oh
remember in
wow.
art class, couldn't, they would take a step by step and drawing and I couldn't get it right. It's like, oh, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I had a conversation with someone a few days ago and I kind of went over some of the questions that you was asking because I was thinking about them, doing my research and doing my homework. And
Right.
I was talking about that and he said, you have children, you give birthday parties, you plan events, you've done this, you've done. She said, what do you mean you're not creative? And I was like, I didn't think about that. As a
Right.
parent, you have no choice but to become creative, trying to keep them occupied, and different things like that. So initially, no. But as you grow, I think everyone has creative talent in them somewhere. It's just about digging in deep. It might be something you overlook, and I
Right.
overlooked that. Like it was just, oh, I'm just a mother. I just have to make sure I keep them occupied. I
It's
have to
just
do this.
what
I
you
have to do
do.
that. That's just
Yeah.
what I do. But yeah,
Right.
that's how that came about.
Okay. Well, okay. So when did you start your designing? Like, when did you design your first thing and you knew,
Okay,
like, hey, I
I
got
got
something
something.
here? Right.
Well, okay, so I have been always interested in trying to figure out another source of income. Of course, like say when you are a single mother or an adult and have responsibilities, you try to figure out how can I bring in more income, because it has to be more to life than paying just the bills and getting by with what you have just for the
Right.
bills that's going to continuously come.
Right.
So I've always been interested in starting my own business, but I just didn't know what I wanted to do. Like they have the Mary Kay, the Avon,
Right.
all those different things to sell, even though it's yours, but you're kind of selling for someone else. I wasn't interested in that. Like, even someone said, well, what about starting your own daycare? And it was like, I got kids. I don't want to,
Right. I don't want all them kids
And I
around.
used to want to be a teacher back in, I
Okay.
feel like, but I think my teaching is going to come somewhere else, not necessarily in a classroom setting. Um, So I had a friend of mine that I went to middle school with and high school with, and he used to make shirts. And I used to be like, let me call him and see what he did. And he used to do screen printing, which is another type of way to make shirts. And so I researched it and he told me everything. And I got on YouTube. YouTube is your friend.
Okay.
And what I did is before I told anybody anything, I bought all my own. It's not a expensive startup. It's not, it's really cheap, kind of, considering a lot of business take a lot.
Right.
Got everything together, and the first thing I made was a T-shirt. And I went to one of my best friends and was like, "Look what I got," and just wanted to get the opinion. So
Mhm.
if it was like, "Oh, that's ugly," I'd be like, "Oh, okay, I just bought it."
Right.
But instead, it was like, "Oh, this is nice." I'm like, "I did that," And so it was about 5 years ago, 5, 6 years ago.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So you've been working diligently for the past 5 years on creating your brand now,
Yes.
which is your KJ Styles.
Yes. KJ Styles, that was the name that I came up with maybe like 2 years after starting
Okay.
the hustle, because that's what it was then. It was a hustle then. It was, oh, let me see how I can make some little extra money, put in my pocket so I can start doing some of the things I want and not always what I need to do.
Right.
Then it was times where it was the only thing I had to do, from different jobs, being laid off, unemployment, if you got it at the time, because any little thing you do wrong, they get cut off.
Right. Right.
Um, so yeah, that's it. It became registered, actual legal business as of last year in May.
Yay.
So I'm coming up to a year.
Congratulations. So
Thank
you are
you.
coming up on your year
I'm coming up on my
anniversary.
year. Hmm.
Okay. That is
Yeah, and
not, that's
it
good.
it was times where, you know, I'm like, do I want to make it legal? Because I fear will have you stuck or not believing in yourself, or and it was just like, you got I got repeat customers. My word of mouth so far is good. I've had some customers that weren't necessarily pleased. I try my best to accommodate, but then I had to realize that I'm not for everybody, and
Right.
that's okay. You get to see so many other small businesses that are popping up, which probably were there the whole time. It's kind of like when you buy a car, you think you the only one that got the car, then you see 12 people a day with the same car in the same
Right.
color.
Right. Yeah.
you know. And so you kind of get a little intimidated because some people can catch on something and do something that you feel is better than your work,
Hmm.
And so, but you got to look at it like the bread. Everybody, how many people sell bread? It's like how many brands of bread.
Right. Right.
So that's how I have to look at that. That's how I like to look at it.
And that was like leading into my next thing with that leap of faith that you took
Hmm.
and betting on yourself, believing in yourself. And you pretty much just covered that for me. So, but it's inspiring to me because it's kind of hard. Like you said, fear can choke you and
Yes.
it can keep you so stagnated and so down because am I going to be good enough? Are people going to like it?
Are people
Um,
going to support,
support. Yeah,
hmm
because even with this platform, this is my second go round with this.
Okay. Okay.
And like the first time I was paying
Hmm.
for a spot
Mm.
on somebody else's network
Hmm.
to come on and do just this.
Hmm.
And I wasn't being supported by friends or by like it made me feel so bad. Like, why am I doing this if nobody
Hmm.
is going to support it?
Hmm.
If nobody is listening, don't nobody care
Yeah.
what I have to say, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And
so
you
why am I
proved them
doing
wrong. You
this?
even proved yourself wrong.
I did because I stepped away from it for a
Hmm.
while.
Yeah.
And, I had my little health situation, and God came in and spoke to me and said, hey,
Hmm.
this is a platform for you. I just want you to do this. It's
Yes.
not about who's supporting you. It's not about that. It's
Hmm.
about you just getting out here and doing what I'm telling you to do.
Hmm.
And what I'm telling you to do is talk about how good I am, my grace, how
Yes.
I'm in people's lives, and showcase that
Yes.
by through other people and so forth. And now I'm back doing it and I'm so happy. Like I don't
Yes.
care who ain't
Round of
listening, like
applause.
what I'm saying? Like I'm happy for me now, and
Yes.
it's an internal joy
Hmm.
that comes out of it. And it's like taking that leap of faith and just betting on myself and believing in myself and knowing that it'll grow, and
Hmm.
the people that is meant for, they'll
We'll be
tune
here.
in, right?
Hmm.
And they'll be about it and they'll leave comments and they'll support it. And that's who
Yes.
it's for. It's for
Yes.
those people. It's not
Yes.
for necessarily for your friend zone. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
It
And
takes you
so
out of your friend zone, actually. It makes you probably deal with people that you might not have would have dealt with before. I have friends and that does the same thing that I do. And they're not friends that I see every day or even know in person. They're my social media friends that are doing the same things and get tips and ideas and encouragement. So it's like I said, I'm not for everybody. KJ Styles is not for everybody, and I am personally okay with that.
yeah, and that's what I'm learning too.
Hmm.
So thanks for that, because
Yeah.
that's so encouraging to me, because I'm learning that too. Like
Hmm.
everybody's not gonna understand why I'm doing this or what I'm doing. Every message is not going to be for everybody. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying?
Hmm.
So you just have to keep moving and keep believing in yourself and
Yes.
just keep moving forward, and don't let the naysayers get into your
Hmm.
head and distract you from your purpose.
Yes. Yes. Even yourself, because we can get on our own way. Definitely get on your own way. So when I have someone that comes to me, like one of the most favorite things I like doing is making items for another small business startup that's getting started. Because the excitement that I see in their face of seeing their own logo or different things come into fruition for them, I know how that personally feels. It's like I did this.
Right,
Yeah. So.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah, because we were just talking before we hit record, everybody. We were just talking about Kay making some items for me for my logo, for my Faithfully Her. And I told her I
Mhm.
was struggling with the logo or whatever. But when I got it together, I'm definitely coming to her so she could
Mhm.
create some t-shirts and things of that nature for me. So
Mhm.
I'm excited about that. And it makes
And
me
I'm
want to go
excited.
and get my little paint by numbers kit out and start
Yes.
trying to figure out
Yes.
this
I can
logo.
help you with that. I can help you with that. We're gonna get you together.
Okay, somebody get me
We're
together.
gonna get you together.
So, but it's funny because, like you saying, like your friends are like your social media friends now,
Mhm.
and people who are invested in the same type of things that you're doing.
Mhm.
And a couple of weeks ago, I had Coach Shar on, and now
Mhm.
I have you, and just you guys are so inspirational and so encouraging, and I feel so
Thank you.
connected in
Yes.
that way with you guys. And it's like, we don't know each other to where we hanging out and
Mhm.
we going and friends
Yes.
on that nature, like we're
Right.
not on the phone every day.
Mhm.
But I feel a kinship
Yes.
because I can respect and understand what you're going through, what your
Mhm.
struggle has been, where you are and where you're going.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I'm so in awe of it. It makes me want to be friends,
Oh, thank
even through
you.
social
Yes,
media.
I understand completely. I feel the same way about you. Like I said, our connection when we met, I don't even know how did you get to the event?
Um, Actually, my supervisor
Huh?
is on. She and I are Facebook friends,
Okay.
and she put the post up about the
Okay.
event because she lives in Inkster or
Okay.
out that way
Okay.
somewhere.
Mhm.
But she put the post up at the event,
Uh-huh.
and I saw it. It was
Okay.
like the event.
Okay.
So when I liked it, I was like, a taste fest. Like I like to eat. And I'm like, you know what? It's a pretty day
Mhm.
outside. I'm going to just go head on and I'm going to get out the house. I'm going to put
Oh,
on
I'm
a
so
face. I'm going to throw
glad.
a wig on and I'm going to just go, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And see what it's
Okay.
about. And I ended up there and you were like the first point of contact when I got
Yeah.
there. And like as you said, I'm looking at your table
Mhm.
and we just struck up the conversation, realized we had a friend in common,
Yes.
realized we grew up a couple of blocks from each other. And I'm like, oh my God, I met a friend. I remember coming home calling my male best friend. And I
Mhm.
was like, so I went to this event today. And he was like, really? He was like, can you talk to people? Because he's like, that is so out of your character. I'm like, I know, right? I'm so excited. I met this girl. We grew up together.
Oh,
And
I'm
he
so
was just like, you
glad.
are so geeked right now. I'm like,
Yes.
yeah, because I'm not really like that outgoing type
Mhm.
of a person.
Mhm.
I'm like, she's gonna come on the show. I'm so excited. Like,
Aw, thank
so yeah.
you. You know what's funny is I had gave me and it's so funny because she became a really good friend of mine, and she was a teacher, a Head Start teacher, and all my children went to her, and then she started her own in-home daycare. And so when I finally got really into my small business, I decided that I had wanted to put on, it was around Christmas, so like a small business Christmas thing where people come shop. And so Nike, Naisha, who's Nike Knockouts, who put together the Taste Fest, she was one of my vendors, and I've known her for a very, very long time. She's family. And so she called me one day and was like, I think I want to put together a taste fest because everyone always go to Chicago or downtown or, there's nothing in the neighborhood for all the ones that can cook. And I'm like, well, go ahead. And she was like, well, would you like to attend? You always invite me to your stuff. And I'm like, sure. They did that.
Yes, it
They
was
did
really
that.
nice.
It really was. So
It
I
was
am
really
so
nice.
happy and blessed that through her just watching what we were doing and took it up a notch. She took it up a whole notch.
Yeah.
And to have such a turnout and for you to be able to come there and for us to be at this moment, it was all meant to be. It
Yeah,
was all
yes,
meant to
it
be.
was. Yes, it was. Because I'm usually like the homebody person. Like I was telling
Mhm.
you before, I come home from work, I'm chilling. My weekends are to me. Like I'm
Mhm.
like, don't nobody bother me. It's the weekend. I have to decompress so I can be ready for Monday. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? But I've been telling myself that I need to get out more. I need to
Mhm.
venture out more. Like, why are you always in the house? Like, you
Mhm.
can go outside. It's
It's
okay.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? So,
It's
um,
okay.
trying to motivate myself to get out and network and meet
Mhm.
people and talk to people more and get out of that shell.
Yes.
And it's funny because before my mom passed, I was like a social butterfly.
Mhm.
And then my mom passed,
It
and I
changes
just
you.
became so in, like, no, I'm
Yeah.
straight. I'll stay,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
not so much as want to be the social butterfly again, but need to just get back out there and meet people and
Yes.
show my face sometimes.
You just never know where your blessings and lessons will come from, you
Yes.
know.
And meeting you was definitely a blessing.
Thank you.
And it's gonna be a lesson too, because you're gonna get me together.
Yes.
um so I know you said you made your first design like 5 years ago.
Mhm.
How does your faith apply to your style?
Well, my logo is a butterfly, and the butterfly, people don't realize how much stuff a butterfly goes through to become a butterfly. I mean,
Hmm.
they really don't pay attention to it. I mean, butterfly starts off a caterpillar, caterpillar goes into a cocoon, then comes out this beautiful butterfly.
Right.
But think of all the hardships that this caterpillar goes through. You got to worry about being stepped on, eaten by something else, making it up into a tree on a leaf to become a cocoon, that the cocoon doesn't get knocked down. I mean, all these trials and tribulations that this caterpillar has to go through over a span of life to finally emerge into a butterfly.
Right.
So that's where that comes from. Is that's nature. I think that's the law of nature. You have to go through some things to get through some things. You don't know your strength. You don't know God until you go through some things.
Amen.
You know, a lot of times we're 100 for 100. People don't realize that. I done been through this, and this. Guess what? You're still here. So you're 100 for 100.
Yes.
So that's how my faith came about with what I'm doing. I have to believe in myself. You know, I believe God is in me. He works through me. I'm a work in progress. I say I'm a mess with a message sometimes.
Yes, I like that.
I'm a mess with a message sometimes, but that's just how it is. It's about having faith in myself. I have faith in a higher power. I'm 100 for 100, and I just got to keep going until I take my last breath. I only have one life. He only gave us one life. I don't know what happens after. I don't know what happens after, but I got to make what's going on right now, make it happen.
Right, right. And I always say I'm doing the best I can with what I
What I
have
got.
in the time that I have.
Yes.
And as long as I'm able to wake up every day, that's an opportunity for me to do something better than I did the day
Day
before.
before. Yes, ma'am.
Whether it's a smile to somebody, a nice
Hmm.
word, a shoulder, whatever it is, it's my opportunity to do something better.
Yes.
And hopefully it's affecting somebody in a good way. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like, I never want to be the person that is putting somebody down or making somebody feel bad or
Hmm.
disrupting somebody's peace. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
definitely.
Hopefully, I can add to their life in some kind of way, even if
Yes.
it's just a hug, because sometimes people just need hugs. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
even if it's
Especially
something
with
as small
everything
as
that's
that.
going on. Especially with everything that's going on. It's like, when somebody mentioned my name, I want them to always have something positive to say. And if they don't, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm gonna keep it moving though. I
Right.
can't get stuck there trying to, chalk it up to me being immature or whatever it is I was going through. Like I said, all I can do is apologize. Hope you forgive me, but keep it moving. I can't get stuck.
Right, right. Because like when I was talking to Coach Shar and she was saying, being stuck is a choice.
Hmm.
Like, you make the choice to be stuck.
Hmm.
So like you're saying, you can't get stuck in that. You can apologize and say, you know what, I made a mistake, or I didn't it was a misunderstanding, it was miscommunication, whatever it
Yes.
is. So I apologize for my part in it, but yeah, I have to move on from this. I can't just sit here
But I had
in
to
this.
learn also not be the victim either. Because it was times in different instances where someone did something to me and I kept, you know, and I had to learn that, they are human too. People make mistakes every day.
Yes.
If they apologize and you can see a change, I mean, it may affect how you deal with the person, but you just have to, at the point, accept it.
And move
I
on.
appreciate the apology because people don't have to give you anything,
Right.
So if they give you an apology, accept it and keep it moving.
And what I've had to learn is that, forgiveness is not so much about that person.
Mm-hmm.
It's about me being able to release and let go.
Yes.
So, there are some situations where I never got the apology and I was holding on. I was stuck in that cycle of anger
Mm-hmm.
and being just upset and angry and not trusting other people because of that
That person.
anger
Mm-hmm.
and so forth. And after my mom passed, total learning experience,
Mm-hmm.
I had to sit with myself and I was like, you know what? I need to forgive. So I had to like literally ask God, please help me figure out how to forgive so I can let this go.
Yes.
I am so tired of this being on my shoulders. Why am
Mm-hmm.
I wearing all of this?
Up
Why
at
do
night.
I have to carry this? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like
Yes.
like I just want to I don't want to carry it no more. I don't want
Yeah.
it in my mind. I don't want it in my dream. Like I
Mm-hmm.
just want to let this go, but I don't know how. And I had to just go to God and say, please show me how to let this go. Give me the tools I need to let things
Mm-hmm.
go.
Yes.
And even sometimes now, like something to happen and I'll find myself going through the loop playing it and
Mm-hmm.
I catch myself like, no, don't do it again. Like,
Say a
Lord,
prayer. Gotta
get
say
the
a
loop
prayer. Like,
out.
okay,
Like, what I'm
I need
saying?
to change my steps. I gotta change
Right.
my way of thinking. Let me get busy and do
Right.
something
Like,
else.
let me get up and cook something. Let me get up and go do some laundry. Like, let me go take a
Something.
walk or something. Like, let me
Yes.
get out of the loop of that train of thought because I know I know that it's only gonna it's gonna weigh me down. And I don't want
Mm-hmm.
that weight.
It'll block your
So
blessings too. It'll
yeah,
block your
yes, it
blessings. You'll miss a
will.
whole blessing and lesson. I say roses and thorns. Roses and thorns, you'll miss something by holding on to it. And I'm not trying to miss a thing now.
Okay. I'm not either. Like when God opened up that window of blessings, I'm trying to catch as many as I can hold.
You gotta have your hands open. Gotta have them open. Can't keep them closed all the time.
Right. I'm coming with my bag. Like, let me just catch them. So you right about that because I
Yes.
noticed that after I started letting those things go and was able to forgive and release the thought and not get caught up in that loop and that
Mm-hmm.
cycle of it,
Mm-hmm.
I got a little lighter. I got freer.
You
Doors
got
started
friendlier,
opening. I got
nicey,
friendlier. Yeah.
nicer, and yeah.
Doors started opening
Mm-hmm.
and I just started seeing opportunities that
Mm-hmm.
was probably always there. And I was just missing them because I couldn't focus.
Yes.
And I just started noticing those changes in myself and my friendships,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm still, like you said, a work in progress and
Mm-hmm.
have some things to work through. Like I was
Mm-hmm.
talking to a girlfriend yesterday and she was like, your communication. And I'm like, I know it needs a lot of work because I shut down.
Okay.
When my
Mm-hmm.
feelings get hurt, I just shut down.
Mm-hmm. That's me.
I
That's me.
close the door.
When's your birthday?
August 13th, I'm a Leo.
Okay, my mom was a Leo, August the 10th.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
yay, mom. So
Yeah.
yeah, I just tend to shut down and
Mm-hmm.
it's a defense mechanism. It's how I
Mm-hmm.
protect myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling her, like, I know it's something that I need to work on. I
Mm-hmm.
can admit that. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm consciously, actively taking steps to work on it. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to happen overnight because
No.
this has been my life for 40 years. I've been
Yes.
shutting down.
Yes.
So now at 46, I have to learn something brand new. It's
Mm-hmm.
going to take me a minute to catch up. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm aware of it now. And
And that's the first step.
that's what G.I. Joe
Mhm.
used to say, knowing is half the battle. So,
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
but it's good to know that I'm not the only one.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
So and we kind of already talked about that too. we kind of talked about all my questions. But the conversation just flowed so beautifully. We just
Yes.
kind of hit on everything. So okay, so
Hmm.
being independently owned, I know you
Okay.
said that, you set the bar for your children, so now
Yes.
they need to do better than you.
Yes.
So is that what being independently and then black owned, is that what that means for you, for your children to have that springboard to
For
something
me,
better?
for me, yes. Um, Not only just with them, but for myself. Like I said, you work at different businesses or work for someone else all your life, you're on their schedule. You
Mm-hmm.
get paid what they tell you you're going to get paid, which is 9 times out of 10 less than what you're worth.
Right.
Um, some people get stuck in these jobs and they're there out of fear of doing something else, or they get so comfortable in a job. But this job can lay you off. We look at what we've watched over the past 5 years, not even during this pandemic, but before, people were at their job 30, 40 years and was getting laid off because these
Right.
jobs were downsizing and messing with people 401k, and I'm like,
Right.
I can't continue to leave my life in another business's hands. Because at the end of the day, you get sick, pass away, they replacing you within 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, like I said, it's okay to work a job. Uh, If you got a job that you're doing and they love you and they treating you right and they paying, yes. But I still say have something else on the side. Use that
Right.
as a stepping stone. Use your business on the side to fund your retirement, a little extra cushion for your retirement.
Right.
Those things. With my children, like I said, my mom didn't graduate high school. She actually got a GED, I want to say in her 30s,
Mm.
and I was proud of her. I watched her go back. She didn't graduate. She had me at 15. I remember her taking my younger sister to work with her because I think they had a daycare. She worked for Gil Hill. She did an internship for Gil Hill when he was alive, way back in the day. I used to watch my mom catch the bus while we were going to school. She would catch the bus with my younger sister, study, get her GED, and then they placed her at Gil Hill, I guess was in what kind of was it, secretary, like a legal secretary, something like that. And
Yeah.
she did that for like maybe 6, 7 months. But I watched her do that. She went to cosmetology school, got a cosmetology license. And this is everything that she was doing after her 30s.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it helps the family aspect of seeing your children seeing you do better and they want to do better.
Mm-hmm.
Like my youngest now, not my youngest kid, but my youngest daughter, she's a junior in high school and she's taking cosmetology. So by the time she graduates, she should be able to take the board and have a cosmetology license.
Good.
Something she'll always be able to fall back on and do, go to any state and do, things
Right.
like that. My son, I have a 23, well, he'll be 23 in May. Whew. He's moved to a different state and he's working and he's about to get back in school. He went to Miles College for a year. So my children, I feel like, are proud of me. So they wanted to do more. They wanted to do more in the state of time where our kids are having a hard time. Our children
Mhm.
it's hard out here. I used to think it was hard when I was growing up. I'm like, oh my goodness, these poor
Mm-mm.
babies, they don't have activities. They don't have the centers that used to be open and where it was respectable and they used to be out there, they do their homework, then they
Right.
play the boys and girls clubs is not what they used to be. It's hard.
Mm-mm.
So for them to stay engaged in what they're doing in their lives and not getting in any trouble, I'm proud. I'm proud not
Amen.
only of my children but of myself. um, because they're doing it. They're doing it. And I want to say that I had some type of positive impact on that.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have, because I can, like you speaking back in those days with the Gill Heels and stuff. Like
Yeah.
my mother didn't have a car, so I can remember her getting up, catching a bus, and
Mm-hmm.
um, my mother worked for Detroit Memorial Hospital back in the day.
Okay.
When they shut Detroit Memorial Hospital down, like you said, she had been there for however many years. They shut it down. Now she was unemployed. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
I can remember her putting herself through to get her EKG license, to learn how to do
Okay.
EKGs, and
Okay.
going back for her phlebotomy to learn
Mm-hmm.
like all of these different things. Like
Yes.
as a single mom with no car, so we're catching a
Yeah.
bus. So she's putting herself through school. She was working at uh TJ Maxx as well as Rite Aid in the
Yeah. Having multiple
pharmacy.
jobs.
Right. Putting me through private school, because
Mm-hmm.
before high school, she has put me in private school. So she was
Okay.
working her butt off to pay that tuition.
Mm-hmm.
And, and at the same token, teaching her, putting herself back through school and learning
Yes.
these things. And it was hard,
Mm-hmm.
like winters was hard. I can
Yes.
remember, gas getting turned off, and we're in here
Mm-hmm.
with kerosene heaters
Yes.
and
Yes.
warming
Definitely.
boiling water on the stove to take baths and
Yes.
to wash
It was hard
clothes. It
times.
was hard
Hard.
out there, but she never
Did it.
stopped. She
And
never
it made
gave
it look
up.
so effortlessly though. That's the thing. You didn't realize as a child everything that your parents were doing for you until you, like I said, you get older and you go back and you look and you like, wow, they were going through it, but they kept food on the table.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As much as possible. I'm pretty sure it was times where she might have had to
I used to
get
call it
some help from
mystery
somewhere
meat.
else. But
Cause
it
she
was
would
the
just
best
because it would just
mystery meat
have
ever.
gravy on it. And I'd be like, I don't know what it is, but it's seasoned good.
Yes. So, being independently owned, it means a lot. It really means a lot. That's why I try to support small businesses, because you're really taking care of a family and paying their bill, helping out with them paying their bills and different
Mhm.
things when it's small businesses. Because these big corporations, they robbing people.
Yeah.
They are robbing people. I remember being in college, and there were some businesses that were actually taking out um, life insurance on their employees.
Mm.
And when they quit, they maintained it. And then when that person passes away, they got money. But
Mm.
these people didn't even have life insurance to even bury themselves. I'm
Right.
telling you, it's a mess out here. I learned a lot of different things about what's going on. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Well, I am so happy that you are the influence that you are, because hopefully there's going to be somebody's watching this that might be in their 20s and 30s, or thinking like, oh, it's too late for me to do this.
It's
And
never too
they'll
late.
see that it's not too late. Like you can
Never.
always go back to school. I didn't complete my master's program
Mhm.
until I was like 39ish, 38,
But you
39.
did it.
You know
See,
what
now
I'm
that's the
saying?
motivation. I gotta go back. I have to get my stuff. I want
Right.
to have
Like it
all
was
these
late in
accolades behind my
life.
name.
Yeah, it was late in life. And I just
Mhm.
can remember my mother telling me how important it was for me to get my bachelor's.
Okay.
Like, Michelle, you got to go back to school. You got to get
Hmm.
that bachelor's. You got to get that bachelor's. Nobody can take your education from you. Da 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 da. So when I got the bachelor's, I remember I had got a silver frame and had it
Hmm.
inscribed, because that was for her.
Yes. Yes.
And then I was sitting back, and by then I had got the bug, like, I kind of like learning. I like
Hmm.
going to school.
Hmm.
And, and then I'm looking at my son who's getting older, and I'm like, you know what? I want him to know that you can go back at any age, you can get it
Hmm.
done at any age. I want him to be proud of me. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? And I want him to see that even though my mom has gone through these struggles or went through
Hmm.
these things in life, at the end of the day, she buckled down and she did something,
Yes.
good and positive with her life. So, I went back and I did that master so he can see that, like I was
Hmm.
saying earlier, in a woman, and
Yes.
especially his mom. Like I'm his example of
Yes. A woman.
a woman. So
Yes.
I wanted him to see that in
Hmm.
me. And I think it made, a good impact, even though he went to school, he got his little degree, and he was like, okay, I'm done with school. I don't want
Hmm.
to, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do.
Hmm.
And I was just like, you sure? Like, I
Yeah.
was kind of hoping you would go all the way. But
We have to remember that they have their own life and
he
their
has
own
his own
journey.
life, and he
Hmm.
went to school for what he wanted to go for. He got
Hmm.
his degree in what he wanted to get it in, which was
Hmm.
recording engineering.
Okay.
And I had to respect that,
Hmm.
because now that has led him to his journey.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
now he's his own record, and he's doing his own
Oh,
engineering of
yes.
sound and producing music for other people. And now
Mm.
he's ventured off into film, and so forth. So he's like, he's happy in what he's doing. And we've talked about him going back, like, well, maybe, take another business course in this, or
Hmm.
just, I'm not saying you have to fully enroll, but take some courses, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want him to keep learning. Like, I don't want the industry to be ahead of his
Hmm.
education. So I'm like,
Yes.
just keep taking courses in what you're doing, but stay up on the industry, stay
Yes.
up on the changes that they're making. I want you to know what every dot and period and
Hmm.
I want you to know that contract better than the person that wrote it. You
Wrote
know
it.
what I'm
Yes,
saying?
I
Like,
understand. Definitely.
so my thing to him is just always stay learning, never
Hmm.
give up learning, always stay
Yeah,
on top of it,
you
because
have to, because you
that
want to stay relevant.
industry is, you hear so many bad things about that
Hmm.
industry, and how they just rip people off
Hmm.
and so forth. I'm just like, I just want you to stay educated, stay up on it. Like,
And he
get
will.
get
And he
those
will.
contracts, circle those big words if you don't know what they are. Go get you an encyclopedia. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
I
So,
understand. Definitely.
and and I think he keeps that in mind, because he'll call me and be like, oh, okay, let's talk about this, and this
Hmm.
opportunity has come up, and we can talk it through so he can
Hmm.
make a good conscious decision. So
Yeah.
for that, I feel like, okay, I did something right, because at least he
Hmm.
could come to me.
Yes.
You have a lot of kids out there, they don't go to
To their parents at all.
and talk to
Yeah.
them about those types of decisions. Like, we
Yeah.
talk about him having kids,
Hmm.
and the type of woman that I would like for him to have them with. I
Yeah.
try not to be
I've
pushy. I
had a
try
few
not
of
to be
those.
pushy,
Hmm.
but
I've had a few of those. Like, you sure? However, you just have to allow them to live and realize that they sometimes have to make their own mistakes, as bad as we don't want them to,
right,
but
right. Because I
we,
always tell them, like, you want a girl that is educated. You want somebody with some goals about herself. Like, especially with the industry that you're in, you're gonna get those groupie chicks that just want
want
to
the
have a
money
baby so they
and
could get a piece of
yep,
what
so
you're
you can
working
finance their
for.
life.
Right. And I'm like, you
Hmm.
don't want that. You want somebody that's going to bring something to that table with you, so you can
Hmm.
build from there together and
Yes.
create something great,
And that also pushes you to become
better.
better.
Yeah,
Definitely.
you want somebody that's gonna feed your spirit and not
Yes.
deplete your spirit,
Yeah.
and you want to be able to feed them. They want to be able
Hmm.
to, you want them to feed you.
You want to
So
be friends
together,
and everything. Yeah.
yeah,
You gotta not just
so
love the
I have
person, you
my
gotta
choice
like the
for
person too.
him. Like, I have my choice for him. I didn't put, I wrote her name on and stuck it in the Bible. That's my personal choice. I'm not gonna say
Okay.
it out loud because I don't want to
Right.
make him mad.
Right.
But I have my
Yeah.
personal choice, because she's such a good girl, and
Hmm.
she's smart, she's
Yeah.
driven, she's educated, she does, you know what I'm saying? I just love that girl
I
so
just think
much.
you have
But
as far as relationships and being a parent and wanting one for yourself, you can't love, love is great, but you have to
the person
genuinely
that you're
like
with,
the person. Even when you're mad, you still have to be
to
able to
like
say,
them.
I still want you.
Right,
I
right.
still like you, because
Yeah.
some people, yeah.
when you like each other, it allows you to communicate with each other better
Yes.
too. Because like you said, even when you're upset or you're
Mhm.
angry, you have that space of where we could sit down and we could still talk about it and we can
Yes.
communicate because we like each other enough
Mhm.
to fight for each other.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that I know
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just pushy. Look, I just want to be in control of it
Yeah,
all.
it is,
I'm
God is
already
God
imagining
got
what
it.
my grandbabies would look like if it was him and her. Like, so,
If it's his will, it will happen.
right. And I know I
God's
have to
will, it
step
will
back and
happen.
allow him to be,
Mm-hmm.
who he is and live his life.
Yeah.
So I think with him being in Georgia, it's a good thing because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as involved
Yeah.
as I
Mm-hmm.
would be if he was still here and I could
Mm-hmm.
kind of twist and turn and manipulate how I would want it to be. So there he's like on his own. He gets to make
Mm-hmm.
his own decisions. Like, yeah, we talk about him, but at the end
Mm-hmm.
of the day, he's gonna do what he wants to do. And
Yeah.
he's far enough away to where I can't shake him
Mm-hmm.
into what I want. So
Well, you know what I've
um,
learned, that a lot of times we want things, we might think we can better somebody else's life, when in turn they might not can better ours. You get what I'm saying? So you might want this girl for him, and she might be the perfect one for him, but he might not be the perfect one
for her.
for her.
Right, right.
So
And and I said that too when they first split. And I said, well, you know what? You never know what the future is gonna hold. Maybe,
down the
one
line, it could be
right,
40
one
years
you
from
just
now.
never know where those two ships in the night, so to speak,
Yeah,
might come back to
back.
that meeting point. So,
Yeah,
I'm hopeful. I'm hoping that it don't take no 40 years, but I'm hopeful. So, okay,
that's true.
let's get into seeing some of your designs.
Okay, well, I do quite. Let me tell you all that I do, and then show
Okay.
you um what I'm working on and what I've got. Oh, I can do just about anything.
Okay.
I'm so proud when I say that. I am, because
Yeah.
I love challenges. So not only can I do like coffee mugs and hot and cold tumblers, journals, inspirational mirrors, t-shirts, hoodies. Oh goodness, just kind of wall decals,
Oh, wow. Okay.
pillows. I arrange my things. So what I have with me here now is I have a pillowcase without the stuffing. I can do designs. I don't know if you can see.
Oh,
This is
yeah. That is
a
gorgeous. That's
pillowcase.
a pillowcase?
This is a pillowcase. Yes, I can put just about any words or any designs on any type of material. Just have to find the right type of material and the type of vinyl and things that's needed to go on there. I do sublimation. Sublimation is where it's kind of imprinted into whatever it is that is on. It never comes off unless you're like scraping it with something. So for example, my hot cold tumbler, this is called sublimation.
Okay.
It's
I love
inside.
that.
This will never come out unless you taking something. This is steel. It keeps things cold for 8 hours,
Okay.
and I think hot for 6.
Okay.
Lid off, comes with a straw. This is the journal that I have with it. It's a matching journal.
That is
Thank
beautiful.
you. And the thing, what I like about the journal and the mug, I could put any picture on it. I could put any words, any picture. So if you got homemade pictures, wedding photos, a letter, anything, I could put on these.
Okay.
My brand that I just started myself, that I was working on for about a year, and I finally just released, is S. Legend, and parentheses Skinny Legend, because Skinny Legend was already taken. For those that don't know what Skinny Legend means, it's actually a positive term for someone that's famous or highly liked, or so I got the Skinny Legend brand. And when I first came up with it, I was like, oh, what else to have but the famous stick figure,
Right.
because he's skinny, and the first thing that everyone knows how to draw or learns how to draw
Is the
is
stick
what?
figure.
And he is the Skinny Legend.
I still draw stick figures.
So not only do I do t-shirts and that, I also can do socks.
Oh,
You like
wow.
socks.
Okay.
And if you could see,
Yes.
I can put anything on socks. So if you got pictures, of a team or want a name or faithfully her, we could do faithfully her socks and tumblers and journals.
Yes.
I do canvas portraits. So if you got a picture, oh, that light is kind of blinding it a little bit. I don't know if you can
That
see.
is so pretty.
Thank you. But any pictures can go on these. These are canvas portraits. And that's all I really have at the
And then
moment.
I have my shirt.
Yes.
So this is my shirt that I bought at the event that day that I met you. And it's My
Yes.
God is Bigger Than COVID-19. And yes, he is.
Yes, he
So I love
is.
this shirt. And
Thank
just
you.
so people can know, I've worn it, I've
Mhm.
washed it,
Yes.
and it still looks brand new. All the everything is still intact. The color of the shirt is still good. Nothing faded, nothing came off.
Mhm.
I didn't put it in the dryer, but I have washed it and hung it up to dry, and it's sparkly, just as sparkly today as it was the day I bought it.
Thank you. Yes,
So
my goal is to make quality work, something that can last you forever. I love personalizing things and bringing people's ideas into fruition. Like I said, I also do underwear.
okay.
I can make my own underwear. I actually wrote a list of everything. I can do balloons. If you having a party and need some balloons and want to personalize, I don't do the balloon columns, but I can put you some words and some pictures on some balloons and different things like that. So um, pretty much just about anything you come up with an idea, we'll discuss it and go from there.
Okay, well that is good. Like, and I love that because you're so versatile in it. It's not just a shirt or a coffee mug or a tumbler. It's a array of things. And like I wouldn't have never thought about balloons. But
Yeah,
yeah, like balloons are
it's
a good
it's
thing.
amazing. It's like it's just me. Everything that I do. I'm the only one that's working. I do my own things. I do my own research. I do my own printing. I do my own pressing. And it's just me, literally just me. So I try to get everything in a timely manner within usually 3 to 5 business days, depending on the order.
Okay.
I've done, I don't know if you're familiar with Duo's Lounge. It's in off of Northwestern Highway and 8 Mile, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's Southfield. I've
Okay.
done their aprons and some of their shirts before, and that was like one of the biggest orders I've ever had. I do family reunions. I have a TikTok birthday party that I just completed 19 shirts. I bling gym shoes and Converse. I'm
Okay.
doing that too. So I can do just about all. It's funny because I want to stick with one or two things, but I like doing it all. And I want to I can do it
And
all.
if you have the talent for it, why not do it
Yeah.
all?
Yeah.
God blessed you with an amazing talent and you're showcasing it by doing it all. You don't want to stifle your gift. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
And
let
it's
that
like I
gift
said,
shine.
never knew that I had this creative talent in me until I got older. So if you're searching for your creative talent, it's there. It's gonna come out. Just keep working hard on it. It'll come. Something to happen. Something to happen.
Good. So tell everybody how to get in touch with you.
Okay, I am available and reachable on Facebook under KJ Styles, K period, J period Styles on Facebook. I'm also located on Instagram, which is KJ Styles 23. So it's K period, J period Styles 23. I have a business line, which is 313-757-1599. I am in the process of learning how to do my own website because I am serious about doing it all.
Right.
And so again, like I said, I'm reachable through the phone number 313-757-1599.
Wait, wait,
Also
wait, wait,
on
wait, wait,
Facebook.
wait. I'm
Okay,
sorry. Slow
no
down
problem.
for me because what I want to do is
Mhm.
in the description or in the down below, I want to be able
Okay.
to put that number down there.
Oh, thank you.
So it is 313.
Mhm.
Uh-oh, we froze up. Hang on. We froze up. Okay, so we froze up and I lost her her internet um shut down or whatever. But what I do want to do is just give out her information again. So anyone that's interested in ordering anything from her, having her design something specifically for you. Again, she is at on Instagram. She is k.j.styles23 on Instagram. On Facebook, she is k.j.styles on Facebook. And if you want to reach out to her and speak to her or shoot her a text message about any of the designs that you've seen today, or again, if you want to have her make something specially for you, it's 313-757-1599. And I will have this information in the description box as well. So again, I just want to say thank you for tuning in to Faithfully Her. Know that no matter where you start in life, you can always finish differently. Your start does not define your finish. You have the ability to believe in yourself and do better for yourself. Just keep working every day that God gives you breath. Keep striving for better for yourself and for your family, because that's what Kiana did, and she's doing a marvelous job. She's doing beautiful things. God has blessed her with a wonderful talent, and she's sharing that talent with everybody. So please support her, support small businesses, support this independently Black owned business by this beautiful woman, and let's keep that going for each other. Let's continue to build each other up, support each other, and love on each other. So again, thank you for tuning in to Faithfully Her. I love you all. Have a blessed week in Christ. Bye.